Hello everyone. We are going to be doing our next walk on Shore Road in Bay Ridge. Hope everyone's doing well, by the way. We're going to walk on the, I guess what I like to call the residential side of Shore Road. And you can see we are right within view of the Verrazano Bridge. First thing we see here is some condos. Got some nice condos here. I remember when these were built. I'm old enough to remember, actually. Yeah, I'm old. Not that old, but I remember as a kid in the 80s the early 80s when this was all just a bunch of weeds, and they put a big fence around it and then they started building it. So maybe 30 years. So now we just jumped into this walk. I was coming out of John Paul Jones Park on 4th Avenue. Over by 101st Street in Bay Ridge, and we are going to walk this length of Shore Road all the way down into Owl's Head Park. So that's down by like 68th Street. So we got some walking to do. We'll be crossing 3rd Avenue right now. So we'll be crossing some avenues and some side streets since Shore Road kind of, if you look at it on a map, it kind of curves. It's a curvy kind of road. And you'll see as we walk along the road, you'll see it'll go to the left, it'll go to the right, it'll curve like an S, it'll go uphill, it'll go downhill. Right now we're kind of walking uphill right now. And so like the first part of this walk, you're going to see a lot of these high-rise co-op condo buildings. And then we'll also be passing by some very expensive I guess you could call them mansions, estates. So we'll take a look at those. Now we've walked on Shore Road before, but we've walked on the other side, which is just the park. But now we're going to walk on this side. This is Fontbonne Hall Academy. It is a all-girls Catholic school. We have two popular schools on this route. We have this one, and then we have Xaverian, which comes up further down by like 78th Street. Xaverian is also a Catholic school. But at one time, it was an all-boys Catholic school. I had a lot of friends that went there. Pretty much all my friends were either the guys were in Xaverian or in public high school with me, and all the girls were either in Fontbonne or Bishop Kearney. Xaverian, what used to be, I was saying before, used to be an all-boys school. And then in 2016, they switched over to co-ed, so it's both a boys and a girls. The weather it's actually really nice. It's 70 degrees out. There's some sun, some clouds. Every once in a while the sun goes in and it gets a little chilly, but definitely very nice out. Speaking of weather, I had posted something on my community tab yesterday. I think it was yesterday, a couple days ago. I had noticed that the weather thing that I have, the little weather graphic that I put up on every walk, turns out that I had misspelled the word temperature. I'll tell you, I'll go into that. That's actually a funny story. How I just finally caught it after a whole year of using it with a misspelling. But nobody ever corrected me, so I don't feel so guilty. I guess everybody thought that was the correct spelling also. You gotta see some of these high-rise condo co-op apartment buildings. We're getting back to that story. So I had just got home from doing the Windsor Terrace walk. And by the way, I hope everyone liked that walk, because I don't know, it was like so disorganized. Normally I have like a kind of a route picked out, but it didn't work out like that. But anyway, so when I do I'll just give you a kind of what's going on in my mind when I do the little weather graphic is created. I created that all myself. I did it in Photoshop. And I guess what happened was, ever since I created it, all I do is edit the numbers or the conditions. So I'll go straight to, I'll put something in like, it's cloudy or it's chilly. I'll put in the temperature. I'll put in the humidity and the wind. I think it's something pretty cool to just so people know, like when I'm doing these walks, what it kind of feels like. Because I remember back in the day, I used to do GoPros walks and there was no like weather. So it could be like in the middle of January, but it could be one of those crazy warm days and no one would know it. They would just see, oh, he's walking in January. It must be like 30 degrees out. So it's like one of those, things I like to put in there so people could kind of get an idea of what it feels like. So when I go in and I do the edit, I just put in the numbers and stuff, and then I pull it out, I export it, I throw it into the video. And for the life of me, I don't know what made me look. I think I was kind of moving I was moving something around, and it put my attention onto the words, conditions, temperature. I think there's humidity, winds, or something like that. Humidity and then winds, whatever I got, the stats I got in there. And I was looking at the word and I was like, that looks wrong. But then I started saying to myself, but I would have caught this a long time ago. I mean, I've been using this graphic for the longest time. I went back into the videos. I've been using that incorrect spelling for since I created that. But here's the funny thing, not one person, and I get people from time to time that correct me and stuff like that, and Not one person. Either somebody noticed it and didn't say nothing, or nobody noticed it. So we fixed it. So Stride Warrior is spelling bee compliant. By the way, we are up to 94th Street. Pretty much we're going from like 101st all the way down to like 68th Street, so really nothing much to miss. But yeah, so now I have a whole, I want to say like a year's worth of walks that we've done on the channel. And now it's funny because now that I mention it, now I know someone's going to go back. Someone's going to come along one day and they're going to be like, you know, they're going to watch one of the older walks that we've done. And they're going to be like, you know, you spelled temperature wrong. We are still walking amongst all of these high-rise condo co-ops for a while. Eventually we'll break into some homes. Well, I can't believe I just said that. We're not going to break into any homes. We're going to transition into viewing homes. Jesus. That's got to be the best. Someone's going to say fruity and slip. I'm like, no, I'm not breaking into anybody's houses. We'll eventually transition to smaller homes and some mansions, and then we've got we'll be walking by Fort Hamilton High School. You can see across there is the park path. We've done that walk a couple of times. We've even been on Shore Road before a few times. We just never been on this side. We've been on this side a few times, maybe like during the rain walks or something like that, but that's about it. Very nice manicured lawn. Because it looks like they get their lawn taken care of by the Yankees groundskeepers. Some Kentucky bluegrass. I gotta scratch my leg. I had to stop. Coming up on 92nd Street. Now this is a really big co-op condo complex. You can see how big it is. This is 92nd Street. And we are hitting our first curve. And in case anybody's wondering, you see these buses passing by. This is the B16 route. I gotta watch myself. This guy wants to make the turn and I'm crossing. This right here is like a like a rehabilitation center and an MS center. This is one of my favorite homes on the on this route. It looks like a southwestern style kind of a structure, built-in home. Looks like it could have been, I don't know, maybe there's some history. I've never really looked up, of all the years I've been walking by this place, I've never really looked into it, but I always feel that it looked like it could have been like a church at one time or something. But you know, when you live in these neighborhoods, you kind of get, so you take everything for granted and you don't research the local neighborhood that you live into, that you live into. I don't know if that makes sense, but. And then you meet a tourist who knows more about your neighborhood than you, which has happened a couple of times. I've had people tell me things and I'm like, really? I was like, I gotta look that up. I gotta make sure you're not pulling my leg. And just a reminder for all the new people that have come to the channel over the last several weeks, welcome. I'm not a historian. We just do walking. If I do know something, I will definitely talk about it and stuff, but we just like to walk here and look at stuff and not think about it, you know? These walks are a way to help you all escape. That's why I don't like to talk about politics or the current events, although we all know the crazy crap that's rolling around in New York City these days, and the current events and all that stuff. But you know, if you want that stuff, you could, I guess, find the news or find one of your favorite political commentators. Although sometimes I feel like I want to go on a rant, but maybe that'll happen one day. This is a big complex. And you can see this sidewalk here. I guess you could call them cobblestones. And then some of these buildings, like the one I'm walking by right now, and the one up there, you could see they got like the castle type towers. I think the one that I just walked by has like the old classic. No, it doesn't. I'm looking back. It doesn't. Some of the buildings we walked by, I wasn't looking up, but when you're down on the bike path out there, and you're looking back at this direction, some of these buildings have the really cool old school castle type towers with the, oh, hold on. Yeah, the helicopter sounds low, but it's not. Some of the towers have like that old classic castle tower where it goes up and down, up and down. All right, we're gonna start breaking into some homes. Like I said earlier. All right, we're gonna start moving into the home area of Shore Road. And some of these homes are ridiculous. Like, these aren't too ridiculous. They're beautiful homes, but they're not too ridiculous. But I'm gonna show you a really ridiculous place in a little bit. You got the nice flowers, and landscaping is great in this area. It's nice walking around here during the Christmas season. Looks like somebody's getting their car towed. Something probably happened to it. This is 86th Street. It's a nice old home. This home has been here a long time, along with the tree. I wonder which is older, the tree or the house. You see, we're going to start getting into some really nice homes. All right. This is 85th Street, and this is a dead-end street, by the way. You cannot go through here. You can go through the school grounds, though. And I'll show you in a second. You can see this is a dead-end street. And then if you want to go down 85th Street, this is how you would do it. If there was an 85th Street, you go down this way. You go, when this is open, you can go through onto the school grounds. They allow people to walk through and stuff. This is Fort Hamilton High School. My mother went here. This was her high school back in the 60s. There's a lot of trees, so let's see if I can get a better look when we get to the main entrance. This school just looks like, it reminds me of Back to the Future. Probably one of the most majestic looking schools in all of Brooklyn. That and Lincoln. We've walked by Lincoln before, like Lincoln High School and Fort Hamilton. Just really nice looking school buildings. All right, I'm going to show you guys some crazy houses. I think is probably the most expensive property on all of Shore Road in a couple of blocks. Small house up on the hill. And then you got this property, which you can't really see because it's behind a wall, and so is the other one. These are like compounds. What I'll do is I'll see if I could turn around and get a look of this house. But look at this gate. So this gate is big. I don't even think you can see the house if I turn around. And even this one. So this house, we're going to talk about this house in a second. But actually, we'll just talk about it now. Look at this house. This is ridiculous, this wall. And there are two, like, I don't know, like tunnels, like with staircases that get up there. We're gonna pass by one of them. The other one's down here on the ends of the block, like the ends of the wall down the block, but. And by the way, there's the other house I was talking about. Kind of see it, but look at this. This is like a compound. Oh yeah, here, look. So, and they got a big security sign there, but you can see how high this wall goes. Just amazing. And then up here, you got this house. Right there. That's high up there. But look at this. This is still, I think this is still the property. No, this is a different property. But look at the like rock work and stuff. Is that crazy? I mean, you don't have to leave your house. You could just go hiking in your own house, your own property. Do some rock climbing and stuff. You can see this has a gate also. The stairs that go up. I'm gonna come out in the street here. I gotta be careful not to get hit. So I wanna show you this. This place is amazing. We'll kind of step out a bit and look at it. I mean, look at this place. This place is ridiculous. See what I'm saying? If you hit the lotto, you could buy this house, possibly, if it's up for sale. Look at this house. This house, every time I see it, it's like such a small footprint. Look how big those windows are, though. Some big windows. And then this house right here is looks pretty old. Looks like it's got like a patio, and there's some space underneath that patio. And then this one was also, this one I didn't mention, the one we passed a little while ago, that big white one we passed, that was just recently rebuilt. This was recently rebuilt. This is another one. So I'm giving you guys a real nice real estate tour here. I wasn't lying when I said these houses get ridiculous. This is a pretty old house here on the corner of 88th Street. We have made it all the way down to 80th Street. And I will turn around real quick and give this house a little bit of a look. I wonder if I get a copyright strike for having Mr. Softy music on my video. We're gonna find out. Well, you'll have to wait until the next walk for me to tell you, because I won't know until I upload it and they do the scan. But I wouldn't put it past YouTube, man. I'll tell you. This is the time of year where I'm going to be doing a lot of walks, and it's going to happen. There's going to be music. There's really nothing I could do about it. And I know I probably explain this on every time I mention music, but YouTube doesn't take down your video. They just, what they do is they won't let you do revenue sharing. And he is sitting right outside the park. And that is a real Mr. Softy truck. You know, lately I've been seeing trucks with the Mr. Softy music, and they're not Mr. Softy trucks. So now we're going to get into some smaller homes. And this is another dead-end street here on 78th Street. This is a nice block. I kind of feel weird walking down this block, because I'm sure everybody on this block knows who lives on the block. They see me walking around with a camera and be like, what's going on? Yo, I had a funny interaction with somebody in my neighborhood the other day. They know that I have the YouTube channel. And they were like, you know, has anybody ever, you know, said to you while you're walking, you know, what are you doing, you know, showing the houses off and everything? And I said, no one's ever really said anything. And they were like, well, what if somebody, you know, stops you and says, you know, what are you filming and stuff? And My answer was going to be this would really start a fight, but my answer was going to be I'm scoping out potential locations for squatters. Because you know that we have this squatter issue going on right now in New York. Pretty much the whole country has a squatter issue right now. It's not just New York. I know some people would like to say, oh, New York it's everywhere. It turns out that Florida and New York, we just signed a new law into place just literally like a week ago. Florida and New York are the first two states to change the definitions of the laws, because what's happening is they're going by these old laws from a long time ago that goes into, you know, claiming land and stuff. You know, back hundreds of years ago, if lands wasn't claimed, you could move in on it. And that law, it's not specific. It's a very generalized law. So what Florida and New York just did, it's a nice house right here. What Florida did and what New York just did last week is they are starting to put bills in to redefine what a squatter is. That way, now you can charge a squatter with trespassing. Now, if anybody's been following the news, anybody that lives in New York knows this, but anybody that's, you know, out of state, there was a story recently that just happened. It happens over in Queens, over by Murray Hill, the Murray Hill area, where this woman, she had, you know, tried to get this squatter out of the house. And she went and she changed the locks and she got him out, and the police arrested her. Because the law states that you can't change the locks on a tenant. And she got arrested. And the optics of that was really bad. That's what really got the law started going forward, like them changing the law. When you see a homeowner getting arrested for trying to throw out a squatter. But the good news is, in case anyone's wondering, she wound up getting the house and he got arrested. So he's out. They went and they pulled him out of the house, and now he was arrested. I don't know if he's, you know, the way the bail reform laws work in this city, he probably got out already, but he was charged with burglary and trespassing and all that stuff. All right, we are crossing 74th Street. You can see the street is curving again. It looks like we got some more cobblestones. Getting close to 40 minutes. You can see the road turns here. Getting close to the ends of the walk, or almost at the ends where we get to Owl's Head Park. We should start seeing some big buildings again down here. Crossing 72nd Street. And here we are. Here is Xaverian High School. We're on 71st Street. And like I said earlier, it's now a co-ed school. This is the first or last stop, depending on how you look at it, for the B64 bus. And this street right here is called McKay Place. 78th Street does not exist over here. I'll show you where 78th Street is supposed to be. Well, I'll show you where it is. You just won't be able to see it. So if you go down the block and make a left, you'll find 70th Street. And what it does is it runs dead end right on the other side of these buildings that we're walking past right now. So right on the other side of here is 70th Street. To get more exact, it's right on the other side of this house. It's a white house. So if you go around the corner and you walk up 70th Street and you hit the dead end, you'll see the back of this house. And then we got this, looks like a luxury condo with the big windows without any drapes. When you're walking by at night, you can see everything inside. All right, we are gonna now head over to the park. Bay Ridge Avenue. There's the pier. We were just here the other day. You'll find me here every day. It's my backyard. Well, it's part of my backyard. I'm all the way down on Bay 8th Street, but I'm always on the bike path. Looks like we got the sidewalk closed sign going on because they're repairing all these corners. And we're going to walk into the park. Well, she's going to wait for me, thanks. I thought she was going to go by. All right, I'll take you guys on a little journey. We'll take the little bike path around Owl's Head to the other side where the skate park is. And then I will end it. So thank everybody for coming along on the walk. You know, I always thank everybody that takes the walk because it's a long walk. This is a dog park right here, a dog run right here. See that dog looking at me? There's only one person in here with one dog, so it'll get filled up later. It's I don't know what time it is now. It's probably around, well, let me check. Give you guys a time check. I want to say it's around 5. It's 10 to 5, so around 6:30. You'll see more people coming in there with the dogs. In the mornings, it's usually crowded too, before lunchtime. In the summer, it's empty because if you look here, give me a second here. There is no shade. So the sun, what it does is it just stays here all day until it sets. So it could get really hot. So people won't come out here in the summertime until the sun is coming down. Got some hiking trails. Owl's Head Park is a really nice park. It features the 3rd highest point in Brooklyn. As you can tell from, I have to point the camera all the way up there. We're going to be going up there to end the walk. We're going to walk around the path. The highest point being inside Greenpoint Cemetery, 2nd highest point, Sunset Park, and then this is the 3rd highest. This and Dyker Heights. If you hear me sniffling a little bit, it's the allergies. We've got everything you want. If you're an allergy sufferer, they have every type of allergy available here. So This is where you want to come if you want to suffer like me. See how high up that is. That's where we're going. You can't go up there. Like, you can go up there if you want to go up there. It's pretty hard. I've done it, but it's slippery. But the problem is, oh, there's a fence. Because they really don't want anybody going up this, because people have gotten hurt. These are the type of hikes I'm used to when you go up to like upstate and you go up to like Hudson Highlands or like Breakneck Ridge. This is, believe it or not, Breakneck Ridge is even steeper than this. So they don't want anybody going up there because, you know, you fall, you get hurt, then they sue the city. So they got fences up there to encourage people to not go up there. This is the skate park. If anybody wants to take a look at it, I'll show you. They got a pool, they got a ramp, they got some verts. I used to be a skateboarder, so that's how I know where all this stuff is. But of course they didn't build this when I was skateboarding. This was built after I became, I guess, an adult and stopped skateboarding, and then they built it. When, in the 90s, when we would skateboard, in the 80s and 90s, we would constantly get chased off of properties by the cops. We'd constantly get in trouble because we had nowhere to skate. You know, there was no skate parks. And this right here, this park was, I pretty much believe it was the first skate park built in all of the 5 boroughs to help alleviate that problem. And I remember when it first got built, because I was here when they had just finished it. I had just gotten out of the military. There was a ton of people in there. It's not as crazy as it used to be, though. They used to have a sign-in thing here. You had to sign in, you had to have a helmet, but they don't do that no more. I guess it's skate at your own risk. The basketball courts to my left, which they have to redo these basketball courts. The last time they redid these basketball courts, I was like 12 years old. It was 1986. We're almost done, I promise. I know you're all out of breath. I want to get up that hill. We'll go up that hill to the tallest point. Got the little kid on the scooter. We'll take the path up and then I'll cross into it. That way there's like something to use reference. If I'm just walking up the hill, there's nothing to use reference to, so. This is the fence I was talking about. Oh, I'm really legging it right now. It is, oof. So it's a steep climb. All right, here we go. This right here is the tallest point. And this is where we're going to end the walk with some looks around. I want to thank everybody for taking a walk on this nice day, 70 degrees. There you go. You can see, like, right here to my left, these buildings. That's like a 5-story building, and we're level with the 4th story. So I'll just give you an idea of how high up we are. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed the look at the houses and the mansions and everything else. And I will catch you all on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.